Cosmic Wonder, you had me at Scarlet Witch's future. That's all you need to say. I'm tuning in. That's all you got to say. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Share it to at least 3 people you know if you're new. I talk all things Marvel at this channel. News, updates, this, that, and the other. And, you know, we do reviews, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. So let's get into this reaction. Y'all go sub to Cosmic Wonder for, you know, the latest news, the updates, this, that, and the other. This is the channel to go to.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and still, right now, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is all anybody can talk about right now.
Pretty much.
Right off the bat, if you have not seen Doctor Strange 2, we are going to be talking about some spoilers, some big ones. So if you haven't seen it, now's the time to click away. Specifically, what we are going to be talking about is if Wanda is dead or not.
I don't
Marvel
believe
Studios
it.
kind of left that up for interpretation at the end of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and of course they did that on purpose. Their whole point was for us to kind of think that she's gone, but also at the same time not really know, because they didn't physically show her die. And the writer for Doctor Strange 2, Michael Waldron, even came out recently and talked about this in a recent interview, which we're going to break down. And of course talk about the future of the Scarlet Witch. If she returns, will she be good or will she be evil? If she returns, she might be good in her own eyes, but how will the rest of the Avengers and other heroes view her after what just happened in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? We'll break it all down in this video, and of course if you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. So a lot of the latest news is talking about how the Scarlet Witch most likely isn't done, and even Elizabeth Olsen is talking about the future of Wanda and the Scarlet Witch as well, so we could probably assume that there's a lot more coming from her. But it looks like Marvel wants us to not really know what's going to happen at the time. At least that was their plan for the ending of Multiverse of Madness, where Wundagore Mountain kind of falls on top of Wanda. Remember the good old Marvel rule: if you don't see them physically die, there's always a chance that they could come back. And during an interview with Variety, Michael Waldron was asked if Wanda actually died or not, in which he replied, "I think that's up for interpretation. She made some kind of sacrificial act that destroyed the Darkhold in every universe, which is protecting Wanda in every universe from being seduced by the Darkhold. Whether she's dead or not remains to be seen. I know what it's like to love characters and to not want them to be gone and to hate when they do bad things, but that's part of the fun of watching stuff and getting swept up in it." Now here's the deal: if you actually think Wanda's dead, I'm gonna go ahead and say she's not. Typically when Marvel characters die, specifically main MCU Avengers characters, they're pretty clear that they die. Also, the actors and actresses typically talk about what their time was like playing that superhero, how they're gonna miss that time, how it was a dream come true, and how they're going to always reflect back on and be super happy about what they did as that character, and how it was just time to move on. This is what happened with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Chris Evans as Captain America, and notice that the characters who are still around that never really discussed their fate or future of the character have all decided to come back. Mark Ruffalo is back as the Hulk in She-Hulk. Chris Hemsworth, of course, is back as Thor in Thor Love and Thunder. Basically, when an actor is done being a character, we know. And here's the deal: Elizabeth Olsen has actually been talking about the future of the Scarlet Witch recently. And not many people remember this, but Kevin Feige actually specifically stated about a year ago that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will not be the last place we see Wanda. In an interview with Deadline, they were talking about WandaVision, and they asked Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige if there would be an evolution of Wanda's storyline through other properties, in which he replied, yes to an evolution of storyline, probably and inevitably in many different capacities, and this was an obvious reference to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because this was a year before it came out. But check this out. He then went on to say, referring again to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, he said, "That's the first place where that story will continue, but there will be other places." So this was almost a full year ago in an interview with Deadline, and this is the Marvel Studios president telling us that there's going to be other places where the Scarlet Witch's story is continued. So it looks like not only is the Scarlet Witch not done, but the story for her might have already been planned out. And this actually makes me wonder if they have planned a WandaVision season 2, because something that struck me as rather odd about Multiverse of Madness is that there was not much mention of Vision, and we never never even saw him, not even in a flashback. I don't think there were any pictures of him. I think they mentioned his name maybe one time when she said Viz, and they referred to him in other times, but he really was not a part of this movie. It was all about her kids. But don't forget, White Vision is out there somewhere. We have no idea what happened to him. We have no idea what his future story is, but maybe that's where WandaVision 2 comes into place. The first season was a huge success. It would make sense that they would do another one. And Kevin Feige pretty much a year ago was already talking about Wanda's story popping up in other places after Multiverse of Madness, so you never know. Now, in recent interviews, people of course are asking Elizabeth Olsen what's next. And every time she talks about this, she makes no mention that she is done as the character. In fact, she says that she is pretty excited to continue to play the character and excited to see what stories could come along for her. But it looks like she might have somewhat of an idea of what could be next for the Scarlet Witch. Here's what she had to say in an interview with Fandango. If there's a good idea, I'm happy to play her. I also think her being old will actually be kind of amazing.
I'll be honest,
in the comics, her power kind of deteriorates her and ages her in a way in some of the comics. I do think of that as being kind of amazing. I kind of imagine myself one day with like prosthetics and silver hair and like playing her as this like older wise woman, and so I do have this kind of this dream of aging her quite a bit.
Why not play her for the rest of your life?
She's ancient in her, like the myth of the Scarlet Witch is this ancient myth. And so that's something that I kind of adore about a potential future that I'm just kind of throwing out, and I really don't know where it would go. That would be an interesting storyline, but fortunately for us, and maybe unfortunately for Elizabeth Olsen, I think she's going to be returning before then, especially if you consider the rumors about her signing a deal with Marvel for multiple more projects. This will most likely include her own solo feature, but will also most likely include her teaming up with some other people as well. Now, I don't think that she'll be playing an Avenger anytime soon, because I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange is going to have a part of the Avengers right now. Also, Wong seems to be a pretty prominent member of the MCU right now. He's been showing up everywhere, and we just got confirmation that he's going to be appearing in She-Hulk. He might have a little bit of a problem with Wanda being a part of the Avengers. He was just kind of tortured by her, and plus, not to mention, his girlfriend died trying to kill the Darkhold, and she killed a lot of his students, so I'm thinking Wong's not okay with her being an Avenger. However, the darker side of the MCU right now is being established, and definitely the mystic side is coming out. We have Moon Knight, we have Blade coming up, and Multiverse of Madness truly had a darker tone to it. Ghost Rider was supposed to appear in Multiverse of Madness, but that scene was cut. And we have the Black Knight coming, so hopefully the Midnight Suns are being set up, and hopefully Wanda can be a part of the Midnight Suns. Plus, not to mention, at the end of Doctor Strange 2 in the post-credit, Clea was introduced, and she says that Doctor Strange caused an incursion. Well, Wanda is a Nexus being, a reality warping being, and it looks like she somehow has managed to communicate across the multiverse, as she was able to destroy the Darkhold in every different universe. She could always come back to actually help Doctor Strange kind of do damage control on what she caused, because let's face it, the only reason Doctor Strange had to multiverse jump was because of the Scarlet Witch, so it is kind of all her fault. So I definitely think there's potential for her to return in Doctor Strange 3. However, I do think she is going to eventually get her own solo movie, not her and Doctor Strange or her and another character, but her own solo movie. And this could be about the relationship between her and her father at one point in time in the comics, who is Magneto. Once you get the X-Men and mutants rolling into the MCU, this could be an incredible storyline. Magneto finds out how powerful she is, and he wants to go and recruit her for his team. But then of course you would have Professor X, who would try to stop Magneto and get her to join him. Kind of similar to X-Men The Final Stand with the Phoenix Force, instead it's the Scarlet Witch. I'm also excited for the fact that we could be getting a WandaVision Season 2. There has been absolutely no confirmation about this whatsoever yet, but the way Kevin Feige talked about her story and continuing after Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness leads me to believe that they do have plans for her, and right now Marvel shows are getting continuations. What if Season 2 is coming and actually Loki Season 2 is about to start filming? It would make sense that Wanda would get a Season 2 of WandaVision. It might not be called WandaVision, but it's very clear that there is a lot more of Wanda's story left.
She's a movie star,
what did happen with that other vision? It looks like we are eventually going to find out, as it looks like the Scarlet Witch is not done in the MCU, and Elizabeth Olsen will be returning to play her. So let me know what you would like to see as far as the story is concerned for the Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Yo, great video, Cosmic Wonder. Shout out to him. Y'all go sub to him in this channel. She's a movie star. Elizabeth Olsen is a movie star, Cosmic Wonder, and I think she's Give her her solo movie. Give her her solo movie run, her solo trilogy. Matter of fact, I'm an advocate for this, man. And you can introduce more mutants with her movie. You can still play around with the multiverse. In some carnations, she can get her kids back. You can play around with White Vision. You know, it's endless. You know, I'm a big fan of bringing back Evan Peters' Quicksilver and have him actually be her brother, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And like you said, be with Magneto. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Where do you want to see the Scarlet Witch next? Hopefully, you know, I don't know if she'll show up in Agatha House of Harkness, but I would love it. I would love it. And where do you want to see her show up next? So shout out to the Cosmic Corner. Y'all go sub to him. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below, share it to at least 3 people you know if you're new. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.